Trump recently signed a $2.2 trillion stimulus relief package to help Americans and businesses survive the economic slowdown. Let's break this down a bit. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Think Finance. My name is Raj, and on this channel, I talk about personal finance, investment ideas, money management tips, and all things finance. If you're new to the channel and money is your passion, consider subscribing. There is a lot happening around us these days. Stocks are getting hammered, people are getting laid off, and if they have jobs, they are working from home. Fed has introduced large amount of liquidity and interest rates are at 0%. And now Trump just signed the CARES Act. Other nations are doing something similar, but CARES Act is the largest by far. Anyways, there's a lot of information floating out there in bits and pieces, and in this video, I wanted to bring it all together. Get into the weeds and figure out what does $2 trillion relief mean to you and I. Let's jump in. There are 5 main groups that would benefit from this relief: individuals, small businesses, big corporations, public services, and state and local governments. Here is how the money is allocated. A big chunk is going to individuals and families, followed by large American companies. I will focus more on how this impacts to you and I, and less on the other areas. Here are the 10 ways individuals and families can benefit. Of course, the big one, cash payments. Most individuals earning less than $75,000 can expect a one-time cash payment of $1,200 or $2,400 if you're married. Families with kids would get $500 per child. That is not much for high-income earners. Indeed, if your income is more than $99K as an individual, you won't qualify for anything. Link in the description to check if you qualify. Payments are based on either your 2018 or 2019 tax returns. As long as you filed for one of those years, you will receive a payment. People who receive Social Security benefits but don't file tax returns are still eligible. Money will be transferred via direct deposit starting the week of April 13th. However, paper checks may take as long as 5 months. Extra employment payment. In addition to what the state pays for unemployment, federal government will add $600 per week for 4 months plus 13 weeks of unemployment insurance. Self-employed and freelancers can now take advantage of unemployment benefits. Student loans and other student-related relief. Loan payments are deferred until September 30th, 2020 without penalty or interest for all federal-owned loans. Employers can provide up to $5,250 in tax-free student loan repayment benefits. Students who drop out of school as a result of pandemic wouldn't have that time away from school deducted from their lifetime limit on subsidized loan and grant eligibility. Insurance coverage. All private insurance plans to cover pandemic treatments, vaccines, and tests. Paid sick and family leave. Employers with fewer than 500 workers are required to provide up to 80 hours of paid sick leave to employees affected by the pandemic. Full pay is available for workers who are sick or quarantined up to 511 per day. The bill extends the existing Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA, to cover a worker's absence to care for a child home from school or daycare. After 10 days away from work, employees will receive 2/3 of their regular salaries. However, this pay is limited to $200 per day, $10,000 in total. Changes to retirement plans. Required minimum distribution or RMD is suspended for 2020. If you have this set up automatically, maybe you want to pause it since you don't want to draw the money when the stock market is down. If you need money, you can now dip into your retirement account. The 10% early withdrawal penalty is waived. The amount you can borrow from a 401k plan is doubled from $50,000 to $10,000. Mortgage payment, foreclosures, and eviction relief. Any American with a federally backed mortgage can stop making payments for up to 1 year if you're experiencing financial hardship due to the crisis. However, you need to first request this. A 60-day foreclosure and eviction freeze is introduced for homeowners with federally backed mortgages. Zero interest rates, not really part of CARES Act. It's a Fed move, but it's worth calling out. Zero interest rate means cheap money. Your cost to buy a car or a house will come down. Interest on credit cards will be down and loans will get cheaper. Link on the screen if you want to learn more. Tax break for charitable contribution. A new deduction of up to $300 is allowed for cash donations to charity in 2020. The 60% of adjusted gross income limit that normally applies to cash contribution is waived for itemized returns. IRS tax deadline extension. With everything that's going on, deadline for filing taxes is moved to July 15th. Thank God. Here's a quick summary for other groups. And again, I will just focus on big ticket items. Loans to big businesses. $58 billion is allocated for airlines. Nothing for cruise lines though. Companies receiving loans cannot do stock buybacks for the term of the loan plus 1 year. A fully refundable tax credit for businesses of all sizes that are closed or distressed to help them keep workers on the payroll. Covers 50% of the payroll on the first $10,000 of compensation. Small businesses. The bill provides $10 billion for grants of up to $10,000 to provide emergency funds for small businesses to cover operating costs. There is $350 billion allocated for the Small Business Administration to provide loans of up to $10 million per business to keep workers employed. This loan could be forgiven as long as it is used to keep workers employed. State and local governments. $274 billion allocated towards direct pandemic response team. The rest of the funds will go to schools and childcare services. Public services. Good chunk of money is allocated for facilities managing patients. $100 billion for hospitals, $4.3 billion for CDC, $1.3 billion for health centers, and the rest towards other health-related services. That is a lot of money. This is going to raise our national debt to $25 trillion, which comes with an interest. Unless the government cuts big on spending, this is going to, at some point, raise taxes. Just my guess. Okay, that's all I have, guys. Thanks for watching. If this was worth $2 trillion, hit that like button, and if money gets you going, consider subscribing. Stay safe, and until next time, peace.